The Shattered Promise. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories. The Stranger in the Forest. The forest was quiet that autumn evening. Too quiet. Sarah walked carefully between the ancient trees, her basket of healing herbs swinging at her side. She had been collecting medicines for her mother's shop when she heard it. A low groan of pain coming from behind a fallen oak tree. "Hello?" she called out, her heart beating faster. "Is someone there?" Another groan, weaker this time. Sarah rushed forward and gasped at what she saw. A man lay bleeding on the forest floor, his clothes torn and covered in dirt. Deep claw marks crossed his chest, and blood pooled beneath him. His face was pale, and his breathing came in short, painful gasps. "Hold on," Sarah whispered, dropping to her knees beside him. "I'm a healer. I can help you." The man's eyes opened slowly. They were the most beautiful eyes she had ever seen. Silver like moonlight, with a depth that made her breath catch. Despite his pain, he managed a weak smile. "An angel," he whispered. "I must be dying if angels are here." "You're not dying. Not today." Sarah worked quickly, pulling medicines and bandages from her basket. She had been training as a healer since she was a child, following in her mother's footsteps. Her hands moved with practiced skill, cleaning wounds and applying healing salves. The man watched her through half-closed eyes. "What's your name, Angel?"
Sarah.
"And I'm not an angel, just a healer's daughter." She pressed a cloth against his deepest wound. "What happened to you?" "Wolf attack," he said, which was partly true. What he didn't say was that it had been other werewolves who attacked him, rivals who wanted him dead. "I was traveling and got careless." "Very careless," Sarah agreed, wrapping bandages around his chest. "These wounds are serious. You need proper rest and care. Can you walk?" "I think so." "Good. My house isn't far. My mother and I can help you heal properly." The stranger tried to sit up and groaned again. Without thinking, Sarah slipped her arm around him, supporting his weight. He was much larger than her, tall and muscular even in his injured state. She could feel the strength in him, barely contained. "Thank you," he said softly. "You're very kind to a stranger." "My mother always says healing knows no strangers," Sarah replied. "Everyone deserves help when they're hurt. Secrets and growing love." They made it to Sarah's small cottage at the edge of the village. Her mother, Elena, asked no questions. She simply helped them get the stranger to the spare room and continued his treatment. "He'll need to stay with us for at least 2 weeks," Elena told Sarah later that night. "Those wounds need time to heal properly, and he needs rest, good food, and care." "He can stay as long as he needs," Sarah agreed, though she didn't understand the strange flutter in her chest when she thought about the mysterious man sleeping in their spare room. The next morning, the stranger introduced himself properly. "My name is Kale," he said, sitting up carefully in bed. "And I owe you both my life." "We're just glad we found you in time," Sarah said, bringing him breakfast. "How do you feel today?" "Much better, thanks to you." Kale smiled, and Sarah felt that flutter again, stronger this time. "Your healing skills are remarkable. Where did you learn?" "From my mother. She's the best healer in 3 villages." Sarah sat down beside the bed. "We've been helping people for as long as I can remember." Over the next days, Sarah spent hours with Kale. She changed his bandages, brought him meals, and kept him company. They talked about everything: the forest, the stars, their dreams, their fears. Kale was careful never to reveal too much about his real life, but he told her stories of his travels, of places he had seen and adventures he had experienced. "You've lived such an exciting life," Sarah said one evening, her eyes shining. "I've never left this village. I've never seen the ocean or the mountains you describe." "Would you like to?" Kale asked softly. "See the world, I mean?" "Sometimes I dream about it," Sarah admitted. "But my place is here, helping people. My mother needs me, and the village depends on our healing." Kale reached out and took her hand. "You have a good heart, Sarah. That's rare in this world." Sarah felt warmth spread through her at his touch. Something was happening between them, something she had never felt before. It was exciting and terrifying at the same time. 2 weeks become 3 months. Cale's wounds healed, but he didn't leave. He stayed, helping around the cottage, chopping wood, fixing broken things, making himself useful. Elena watched with knowing eyes but said nothing. She could see what was growing between her daughter and their mysterious guest. "You should tell her the truth," Elena said to Cale one day when Sarah was out gathering herbs. "She's falling in love with you. She deserves to know who you really are." Cale's silver eyes met Elena's steady gaze. He had suspected the older woman knew he was more than he appeared. Werewolves could usually sense each other, and Elena had a gift that went beyond normal human senses. "I will tell her," Cale promised. "Soon. But right now, for the first time in my life, I'm just a man. Not an alpha, not a king, not a warrior. Just Cale. And she sees me, truly sees me. I've never had that before." "Love built on secrets is built on sand," Elena warned. "It will crumble when the truth comes out." "I know. But give me a little more time. Please." Elena sighed but nodded. "A little more time. But Cale, don't break my daughter's heart. She's been through enough pain in her life." Cale didn't ask what pain Elena meant. He simply promised, "I would rather die than hurt her." The days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Autumn became winter. Snow covered the forest, and the cottage became a warm haven against the cold. Cale and Sarah grew closer every day. They took walks in the snow, cooked meals together, sat by the fire sharing stories and dreams. One winter evening, under a sky full of stars, Cale finally kissed Sarah. It was soft and gentle and full of all the feelings he had been holding inside. When they pulled apart, Sarah was crying. "What's wrong?" Cale asked, worried. "Did I?" "Nothing's wrong," Sarah whispered, touching his face. "Everything is perfect. I love you, Cale. I know we haven't known each other long, but I love you." "I love you too," Cale said, pulling her close. "More than I thought I could ever love anyone." They held each other under the stars, and for that moment nothing else mattered. Not Cale's hidden identity, not his responsibilities waiting for him, not the dangerous world beyond their small village. Just two people in love, warm in each other's arms. The promise. 3 months after they met, everything changed. A messenger arrived in the village, asking questions about a missing nobleman. Cale saw the messenger from a distance and knew his time was up. His enemies were getting closer. If they found him here, they would destroy this village and everyone in it, including Sarah and her mother. That night, Cale held Sarah close. "I have to leave," he said, his voice heavy with sadness. Sarah pulled back, staring at him. "What? Why? What's wrong?" "There are things about me you don't know. Things I should have told you from the beginning." Cale took her hands in his. "I'm not who you think I am. I have responsibilities, a position I can't abandon. People depending on me. I've been hiding here, running from my duties, but I can't anymore." "Then tell me the truth now," Sarah begged. "Whatever it is, we can face it together." "I can't. Not yet. It's too dangerous." Cale cupped her face in his hands. "But I promise you, Sarah, I will come back. I need to settle my affairs, take care of some problems, make things safe. Then I'll return for you. I swear it." "How long?" Sarah asked, tears streaming down her face. 6 months. Maybe less. I'll come back. And when I do, I want you to come with me. Be with me. Forever.
Promise-me, sera whispered.
Promise me you'll come back. "I promise," Cale said, kissing her forehead, her cheeks, her lips. "I promise on my life, on my soul, on everything I am. I will come back for you." 5 years of silence. But Cale didn't come back. Not in 6 months, not in a year, not ever. Sarah waited at first, believing every word he had said. She watched the road every day, hoping to see him returning. She made excuses. He was delayed. He was still handling his affairs. He would come soon. But months turned into a year, and she had to face the truth. She was pregnant with Cale's child. Elena held her daughter while she cried. Some men are just good liars, Elena said gently. I'm sorry, my love. I should have warned you more strongly. He seemed so sincere, Sarah sobbed. He looked me in the eyes and promised. How could it all be a lie? Maybe it wasn't a lie when he said it, Elena offered. Maybe he meant it in that moment but changed his mind later. Either way, he's not coming back. You need to accept that and move forward. Sarah gave birth to a beautiful baby girl 9 months later. She named her Lila, which meant night because her eyes were dark like the night sky, except for small flecks of silver that reminded Sarah too much of Cale. She raised Lila alone, becoming an even better healer than her mother. People came from villages far away for her help. She was respected, admired, and strong, but part of her heart remained frozen, locked away where Cale had broken it. Lila grew into a bright, curious 4-year-old. She asked about her father sometimes, and Sarah told her the truth, that he had left before she was born, that he wasn't coming back, but that it didn't matter because they had each other. Don't we need him? Lila asked once. No, sweetheart, Sarah said firmly. We don't need anyone but each other. We're strong on our own. The Alpha King arrives. 5 years after Cale disappeared, news came to the village that shocked everyone. The Alpha King himself was coming to visit their region. It was unprecedented. The powerful ruler of all werewolf packs rarely traveled to small villages like theirs. Why would the king come here? Sarah asked her mother, preparing medicines in their shop. The announcement says he's touring the kingdom, meeting with different packs and communities, Elena replied, but her face looked worried. Sarah, there's something I should tell you. Mama, Mama. Lila burst into the shop, her dark hair flying. Everyone's gathering in the square. The Alpha King is arriving right now. Can we go see? Please.
Sera si gaide.
She had no interest in meeting some arrogant king, but Lila's excited face was hard to resist. All right, just for a few minutes. They joined the crowd gathering in the village square. Sarah held Lila's hand tightly as people pushed forward, trying to get a better view. Important-looking guards lined the streets, and tension filled the air. Then he arrived. The Alpha King rode a massive black horse, surrounded by more guards and advisors. He was tall and powerful, dressed in dark clothes that spoke of wealth and authority. His presence commanded respect and fear in equal measure. Sarah felt her breath stop. Even from a distance, even after 5 years, she knew him immediately. Cale, the stranger she had saved in the forest. The man she had loved. The father of her child. He was the Alpha King. As if sensing her stare, Cale's head turned. His silver eyes scanned the crowd and locked onto hers. Time seemed to freeze. Sarah saw shock cross his face, then disbelief, then something that looked like desperate hope. He pulled his horse to a stop, staring at her like she was a ghost. Mama, why is the king looking at us? Lila whispered, pressing close to Sarah's side. Sarah couldn't answer. She couldn't breathe. 5 years of pain, of anger, of loneliness crashed over her like a wave. Cale dismounted quickly, pushing through the crowd toward her. People moved aside automatically, bowing, but Sarah stood frozen. Sarah, Cale said, his voice breaking on her name. You're alive. You're here. Don't, Sarah said coldly, finding her voice at last. Don't say my name like you have the right. Don't act surprised to see me. You knew exactly where I was when you left me. No, I didn't. I thought you were dead. I mourned you for 5 years. Cale's eyes dropped to the little girl clutching Sarah's hand, and his words died in his throat. Lila stared up at the king with wide eyes that matched his own, dark like night, but with flecks of silver. Who is this? Cale whispered, though from his expression he already knew. No one you need to concern yourself with, Your Majesty, Sarah said, the title dripping with sarcasm. She picked Lila up, holding her daughter protectively. We were just leaving.
Sera, ouais.
Please, I can explain. I don't want your explanations, Sarah said, her voice shaking with anger and pain. I don't want anything from you. You made your choice 5 years ago when you left and never came back. When you broke your promise. When you abandoned us. I didn't abandon you. I thought you were dead. Convenient excuse, Your Majesty, Sarah said coldly. Now if you'll excuse us, some of us have real work to do. She turned and walked away, carrying Lila through the stunned, silent crowd. Behind her, she heard Cale call her name again, desperate and broken. But she didn't look back. She couldn't. Because if she looked back, if she saw the pain in his eyes, she might believe him. She might let him break her heart all over again. And she had Lila to protect now. Her daughter came first. Always. Even if her own heart was shattering into pieces with every step away from the man she had never stopped loving. What happens next? Will Sarah discover the truth about why Cale never returned? Can he prove his love was real? And what secrets are still hidden? Comment Part 2 to continue this emotional journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories. 32 Part 2. Truths and Betrayals. Welcome back. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible stories. The King's Desperation. Cale stood frozen in the village square, watching Sarah disappear into the crowd with a child. His child in her arms. His heart pounded so hard he thought it might break through his chest. 5 years. 5 years of believing she was dead, of mourning her, of becoming cold and empty inside. And she was alive. She had been alive this whole time. Your Majesty? His advisor, Marcus, approached cautiously. Should we proceed to the meeting hall? Cancel everything, Cale said, his voice rough. I'm not going anywhere until I speak with her. But sire, the council meetings. I said cancel them. Cale's eyes flashed with alpha power, and Marcus stepped back quickly. Find out where she lives. Now. Within minutes, Cale learned that Sarah lived in the same cottage where he had stayed 5 years ago. The cottage where he had fallen in love. Where he had promised to return. He rode there immediately, his guards following at a distance. Elena stood in the doorway, as if expecting him. Her face was hard, protective. She doesn't want to see you, Elena said before Cale could speak. Please, Cale said, dismounting. Please, I just need to talk to her. To explain. Explain what? How you're a king who played at being a common man. How you made promises you never kept. How you left my daughter pregnant and alone. Cale flinched. I didn't know about the baby. I swear I didn't know. Even if her own heart was shattering into pieces with every step away from the man she had never stopped loving. What happens next? Will Sarah discover the truth about why Cale never returned? Can he prove his love was real? And what secrets are still hidden? Comment Part 2 to continue this emotional journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories. 32 Part 2. Truths and Betrayals. Welcome back. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible stories. The King's Desperation. Cale stood frozen in the village square, watching Sarah disappear into the crowd with a child. His child in her arms. His heart pounded so hard he thought it might break through his chest. 5 years. 5 years of believing she was dead, of mourning her, of becoming cold and empty inside. And she was alive. She had been alive this whole time. Your Majesty? His advisor, Marcus, approached cautiously. Should we proceed to the meeting hall? Cancel everything, Cale said, his voice rough. I'm not going anywhere until I speak with her. But sire, the council meetings. I said cancel them. Cale's eyes flashed with alpha power, and Marcus stepped back quickly. Find out where she lives. Now. Within minutes, Cale learned that Sarah lived in the same cottage where he had stayed 5 years ago. The cottage where he had fallen in love. Where he had promised to return. He rode there immediately, his guards following at a distance. Elena stood in the doorway, as if expecting him. Her face was hard, protective. She doesn't want to see you, Elena said before Cale could speak. Please, Cale said, dismounting. Please, I just need to talk to her. To explain. Explain what? How you're a king who played at being a common man. How you made promises you never kept. How you left my daughter pregnant and alone. Kale flinched. I didn't know about the baby. I swear I didn't know. Would it have mattered? Elena asked sharply. Would you have come back for a healer's daughter if you'd known? Yes. Kale's voice broke. Yes, I would have. I love her. I've always loved her. I thought she was dead. Elena. Someone told me she died in a fire, showed me evidence. I believed them. I mourned her. If I had known. Mama. Who's at the door? Sarah's voice came from inside, and then she appeared behind her mother. Her face went cold when she saw Kale. I told you I don't want to talk to you. Sarah, please. Just listen. 5 minutes. That's all I ask. You don't get to ask me for anything, Sarah said. But there was pain beneath her anger. You're a king. Command someone else. I'm not yours to order around. I'm not ordering. I'm begging. Kale took a step forward. Please, Sarah, let me tell you what happened. If you still hate me after, I'll leave. I'll never bother you again. But please, just hear me out. Sarah stared at him for a long moment. Finally, she nodded. 5 minutes. Out here. Not in my house. Elena squeezed her daughter's shoulder and went inside. Though Kale knew she was listening from just beyond the door. The truth unfolds. Sarah crossed her arms, her body tense and guarded. Talk. That night I left, Kale began. I was planning to come back in 6 months, just like I promised. I had to return to my kingdom to handle a rebellion. My cousin Darius was trying to take my throne. He'd been spreading lies about me, turning some of the packs against me. I couldn't stay here while my kingdom fell apart. So you chose your throne over me? Sarah said flatly. No. I chose to make things safe so I could bring you back with me. So you'd be protected. Kale ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. I was going to tell you everything, who I was, what I was, and ask you to be my queen. But I needed to deal with Darius first. Then what happened? I defeated Darius in combat. He was exiled. But 3 months later, one of his followers came to me with news. Kale's voice dropped. He said there had been a fire in your village, that your cottage burned down, that you and Elena were inside when it happened. Sarah's eyes widened. What? He showed me evidence. Burnt remains, witness statements from supposed villagers. Everything. He said he'd come from here, that he'd seen it himself. The fire happened at night. No survivors. Kale's hands clenched into fists. I rode here immediately. Took me 3 days. When I arrived, there was a burnt cottage on the outskirts of the village. Same location as yours. The villagers I asked said 2 women had died there. I believed it. God help me. I believed it. There was a fire, Elena said, stepping out of the doorway. The old Miller cottage, about 2 miles from here. 2 women died, travelers who were staying there. It happened about 3 months after you left. Kale nodded, his face anguished. Darius set it up. He knew I loved you, Sarah. He made sure I'd believe you were dead. I went to the graves. I mourned you. And then I went back to my kingdom and became the cold, ruthless king everyone fears now. Because I had nothing left to care about. Nothing left to fight for except duty. Sarah felt tears burning her eyes, but she blinked them back. That's a very convenient story. It's the truth. Kale stepped closer. Sarah, I know I hurt you. I know you spent 5 years thinking I abandoned you. But I spent 5 years thinking you were dead. We both suffered. We were both lied to. Even if that's true, Sarah said, her voice shaking. You're still a king. You still lied to me about who you were. You made me fall in love with someone who didn't exist. He did exist. He does exist. Kale reached for her hand, but she pulled away. Sarah, I'm still the same man who chopped wood for your cottage, who talked with you by the fire, who held you under the stars. Being a king doesn't change who I am inside. Doesn't it?
Sera challenged.
A king can't love a village healer. A king needs a queen from a noble family, someone with power and status. What was I supposed to be? A secret? A mistress hidden away? My queen, Kale said fiercely. I wanted you to be my queen, my partner, my mate. I still do. Mate? Sarah's breath caught. You're saying, you're my true mate, Sarah. I knew it the moment I woke up and saw you that first day. The bond was immediate, undeniable. That's why I stayed. Why I couldn't leave. Why I've been half dead inside for 5 years without you. A small witness.
Manga.
A small voice interrupted them. Lila stood in the doorway, her dark hair messy from sleep. I heard shouting. Are you okay? Sarah immediately went to her daughter, kneeling down. I'm fine, sweetheart. Just talking with someone. Lila looked past her mother to Kale, studying him with curious eyes. Are you really a king? Kale crouched down to her level, his heart racing. I am. That's cool, Lila said. I never met a king before. Mama says kings are usually mean and bossy. Despite everything, Kale smiled. Your mama is very wise. Many kings are mean and bossy. I try not to be, but I'm not always successful. What's your name? Lila asked. Kale. Lila tilted her head. That's my middle name. Mama gave it to me. Lila Kale. She said it means night warrior because... She stopped, her eyes going wide as she looked between Kale and Sarah.
Mama?
Why did you give me his name? Sarah closed her eyes, pain crossing her face. She had never told Lila about her father, had never even mentioned his name. But her own heart had betrayed her, unable to completely let go. She'd given their daughter his name as a middle name. Kale stared at the little girl, at his daughter, and felt something break open inside him. How old are you, Lila? 4.5, Lila said proudly. Almost 5. 4.5 years. 9 months from when he left. The timeline was perfect. This was his child, his daughter, and he'd missed everything. Her birth, her first words, her first steps, every precious moment. Sarah, he whispered, standing slowly. Please, please let me be part of her life. Part of both your lives. I know I don't deserve it. I know I have no right to ask. But she's my daughter. And you're my mate. My love. My everything. Please don't shut me out. Sarah looked at him, and for the first time since he'd arrived, her armor cracked. He could see the pain, the loneliness, the years of raising Lila alone. But he could also see something else. The same love she'd had for him 5 years ago. Buried deep but still there. I don't know if I can trust you again, she said quietly. Then let me earn it back, Kale pleaded. However long it takes. I'll prove myself every day. Your Majesty. A guard came running up the path, his face pale with urgency. Your Majesty, we have a problem. It's Darius. He's escaped exile. And he's not alone. Kale's blood ran cold. How many? At least 50 warriors, sire. They're demanding you meet them at the border or they'll attack the village.
No, Kale breathed.
Not here. Not now. But it was too late. A howl echoed through the evening air. The battle cry of wolves preparing for war. More howls answered it, coming from the forest surrounding the village. They're already here, the guard said. Sarah grabbed Lila, pulling her close. What's happening? My cousin, Kale said grimly. He's come for revenge. Elena, get everyone to the village center. It's the most defensible position. Wait, Sarah said, fear in her voice. You mean we're under attack? Because of you. Before Kale could answer, a massive wolf burst from the forest, dark gray, nearly black, with hate-filled yellow eyes. It shifted mid-run, becoming a tall man with a cruel smile. Hello, cousin, Darius said, his voice dripping with malice. Surprised to see me? I told you I'd take everything from you eventually. His eyes landed on Sarah and Lila, and his smile widened. Oh, this is perfect. This is so much better than I planned. Darius, this is between you and me, Kale said, moving protectively in front of Sarah and Lila. Leave them out of it. Why would I do that? Darius laughed. You took my throne. Now I'll take what you love. Fair trade, don't you think? He moved faster than a human eye could follow, grabbing Lila before anyone could react. The little girl screamed, and Sarah lunged forward, but Darius's warriors emerged from the forest, blocking her path. Lila!
Sarah screamed.
Let her go. Take me instead.
No!
Cale roared, his body beginning to shift. Darius, I swear if you hurt her. You'll what? Challenge me? Kill me? Darius held Lila easily, even as she kicked and struggled. I'm counting on it, cousin. Meet me at the old ruins by dawn. Come alone or the child dies. And maybe afterward, I'll keep her mother as a pet. She's quite pretty for a common healer. Then he was gone, disappearing into the forest with Lila and his warriors, leaving behind only echoing laughter and a little girl's terrified cries.
Sarah collapsed, sobbing.
No, no, no. Lila, my baby. Cale caught her before she hit the ground, holding her as she broke apart. I'll get her back, he promised. I swear to you, Sarah, I will bring our daughter home. This is your fault, Sarah sobbed against his chest. Your wars, your enemies. She's just a baby. She's innocent. I know, Cale said, his voice raw with pain and guilt. I know, and I will fix this, whatever it takes. Sarah pulled back, her tear-streaked face hardening with determination. Then we do it together. She's my daughter. I'm coming with you. Sarah, it's too dangerous. I don't care. Sarah's eyes blazed. You don't get to leave me behind again. You don't get to make decisions for me. We're getting Lila back, and I'm coming whether you like it or not. Cale looked at her. This fierce, brave woman who had survived 5 years alone, raising their child, healing people, and staying strong through everything. She wasn't the same gentle girl he'd left behind. She was a mother now, a warrior in her own way. All right, he said, together. But you do exactly what I say when it comes to combat. Agreed. Agreed, Sarah said. Now tell me about these ruins and how we're going to save our daughter. Planning the rescue, they gathered in Elena's cottage with Cale's most trusted warriors. Maps were spread across the table, showing the old ruins where Darius wanted to meet. It's a trap, obviously, Marcus said. He wants you there at dawn, alone. He'll have warriors hidden everywhere, ready to ambush. Then we don't go alone and we don't go at dawn, Cale said. We go tonight, before he's fully prepared. But he said if you don't come alone, Sarah started. He'll kill Lila either way, Cale said grimly. Darius doesn't honor deals. He never has. Our only chance is to strike first, catch him off guard, and get Lila out before he can use her against us. How? Sarah asked. If he has 50 warriors. I have 100, Cale said. They're stationed in the next village, less than an hour away. I'll send for them now. We surround the ruins, attack from all sides, overwhelm his forces. And while you're fighting, Lila is in danger, Sarah pointed out. We need someone to get to her first, before the battle starts. Everyone looked at her. You want to infiltrate alone? Marcus asked, incredulous. My lady, you're not a warrior. You'd be killed instantly. I'm a healer, Sarah said firmly. I know herbs that can make people sleep, poisons that can paralyze, and I'm small enough to sneak in where warriors can't. She looked at Cale. You said I have to follow your orders in combat. Fine, but this isn't combat yet. This is a rescue mission, and I'm the best chance Lila has. Cale wanted to refuse, wanted to lock Sarah somewhere safe and handle this himself. Saw the determination in her eyes, the mother's fierce love that wouldn't be denied. You don't go alone, he compromised. Take 2 of my best scouts. They'll get you close, watch your back. At my signal, you get Lila and run. Don't look back, don't try to fight. Just run. My warriors will cover your escape.
Sarah nodded.
When do we leave? 1 hour, Cale said. We move under cover of darkness. As the others dispersed to prepare, Sarah stopped Cale. If something goes wrong, Nothing will go wrong, Cale said firmly. But if it does, Sarah continued, promise me you'll get Lila out first, before anything else. Before me, before yourself, before your throne. Promise me. Cale cupped her face in his hands. I promise you, Sarah. I will bring our daughter home safe. Both of you are coming home. I'm not losing either of you again. For a moment, they just looked at each other. Then Sarah did something she hadn't done in 5 years. She leaned forward and kissed him. It was brief, desperate, full of fear and hope and love that had never really died. Don't make me a widow before I'm even a wife, she whispered against his lips. I won't, Cale promised. We're going to have our happy ending, Sarah. I swear it on my life. Into enemy territory. An hour later, they moved through the forest like shadows. Cale's 100 warriors surrounded them. Silent, deadly, professional. Sarah moved with 2 scouts, both of whom looked barely older than teenagers but moved with lethal grace. The ruins are ahead, one scout whispered. I can smell at least 40 wolves. Maybe more. Lila? Sarah asked urgently. The scout closed his eyes, scenting the air. Center of the ruins. Stone building. 2 guards outside. I can't tell if anyone's with her inside. That's my target, Sarah said. Get me there. They moved closer. The ruins were ancient, crumbling stone buildings that had once been a monastery. Now they served as a meeting place for rogues and criminals, far from civilization and law.